A function is a mathematical relationship in which each input that goes into the function results in exactly one output. You can think of a function kind of like a math machine. You put something into it, the function does some kind of work on it, and then what you put in comes out for a unique output. The inputs in a function are usually the x values, although sometimes they might be designated as something different. They're also known as the domain of the function, or what goes into the function. The output of a function is known as the y values, and might also be referred to as the range of the function. Another way to denote the output is to use function notation, which looks something like this: the function of x, or the input. So for example, if I have a function that says y equals 2x plus 1, y is my output. That's what I'm going to get out. X is my input. So every time I input a number into x, this function machine multiplies the x by 2, adds 1 to it, and spits out my output, y. Anything that I put into this function will give me exactly one value out. So every time I put in the number 2 for x, 2 put into this function, goes through the function machine, will give me 5 every single time. It's not that sometimes I will put in 2 for x and I'll get a 4 or a 3 or a -5. A 2 inputted into this function will always give me exactly one unique value, and in this case it would be 5. Which of these relations is also a function? In this case, let's take a look at the first one, y equals x squared. I just need to make sure that for every input, there is exactly one output, and that makes this mathematical relationship a function. So I can kind of see already, if I think about this, no matter what number I input for x, I'm going to get exactly one output. 1 squared will always equal 1, 2 squared will always equal 4, 3 squared will only equal 9, and nothing else, so on and so forth. Therefore, this is indeed a function. On the other hand, with this next one, x is still the input, y is still the output, x equals y squared. I don't know that for every input I get exactly one and only one output. Let's say, for example, if my input value for x is 4, what number squared equals 4? Well, there's actually two numbers that one squared equal 4. 2 squared can equal 4, but also -2 squared can equal 4. So in this case, there are each input, this input 4 has two different possible output values, not one unique output value, but two possible output values, and that means that this is not a function. Finally, we have y equals 3x plus 5. This is the graph of a line, or this is a linear function. I can tell right off the bat, no matter what input, what value of x I'm looking at, the output will always be one unique number. So inputting 4 into this equation will always give me one exact value. It cannot give me multiple values of y. It will always only give me one value of y. Therefore, this last one over here is indeed a function. So A and C are functions. So once again, a function is a mathematical relation in which every single x or input value gives you exactly one y or output value. The input values are usually referred to as x. Sometimes they might use other letters for them. And this also refers to the domain of the function. And the output values are usually referred to as y, or the range of the function, and sometimes in function notation it's written as the f of x, or the function of x.